Computer surveillance has been the story of the week, with revelations the United States uses a clandestine program to monitor computer and telephone networks worldwide. To discuss the importance of the issue and its relevance to this country, we're joined by Professor of International Relations, Robert Patman. Good evening.
Good evening, Rebecca.
What's the background to this issue?
Well, the background to this issue was a piece of whistleblowing by Edward Snowden. When the revelations first came out, we didn't know his identity. And the revelations concern the massive scope of surveillance by the US government, which seems to sit uncomfortably with the US commitment to privacy for its citizens under the Fourth Amendment of the US Constitution.
And what do we know about the PRISM program and what it can do?
Well, the PRISM program is basically a technical means of intercepting both internet and telephonic communications, and on a massive scale. And basically PRISM has the capability to collect what analysts call metadata. And this has shocked the revelations that Snowden has made from somewhere in Hong Kong, have shocked both American citizens, but increasingly are beginning to have an impact on international opinion as well.
So what are US agencies doing with the information they're gathering?
Well, what we have to understand is the context of the post-9/11 environment. The United States government has taken upon itself to try to intercept those people who are plotting and conspiring to carry out terrorist activities. And a number of US officials said that this capability has thwarted several major plots in the US following 9/11.
Are New Zealanders getting caught up in the information gathering?
I think almost inevitably New Zealand, along with a number of other countries which are friendly with the United States, are part of an intelligence sharing network. New Zealand is one of 5 countries linked to the United States through Echelon, which is an intelligence sharing agreement. And what we've seen with the recent revelations coming out this week, further revelations by Snowden, that Britain used some of the surveillance capabilities that it had in common with the United States to actually not to counter terrorism, but to actually spy and snoop on the members of the G20 for political and commercial reasons. And so the reason that Snowden made these leaks was because he was very concerned what had started off genuinely an attempt to counter terrorism is ripe for abuse by decision makers for political and commercial reasons. And this is why he said the whole thing has got out of kilter.
What are your thoughts on the privacy issues surrounding this matter?
I think what Snowden's revelations do pinpoint is a genuine dilemma. In a free society, a democracy, it is difficult in many respects to defend yourself against groups which are dedicated to destroying or undermining the democracy, and you have to obviously develop capabilities to resist those who are trying to dismantle or undermine that society. At the same time, you must not encroach too much on the freedoms that distinguish a democracy, make it vibrant. You want to establish the rule of law and maintain people's privacy as much as possible. Now, Snowden is claiming that the balance has got out of kilter, that the balance is too far, that the threats to the United States are relatively small, and yet we have a massive surveillance infrastructure put in place, which he argues there's a disproportion between the threat and the means to deter that threat. And he believes that what is happening is the creation of a surveillance state or a garrison state, sort of Big Brother, the sort of Orwellian vision of 1984 coming to fruition in the United States. And he believes ultimately that plays into the hands of terrorists and extremists who are quite content to see a democracy basically degrade itself in this way.
What sort of response have we seen from the New Zealand government?
Well, the New Zealand government has been quite muted. It said Mr. Key, the Prime Minister, when questioned on whether this affected New Zealand, said that he couldn't comment on matters that had an operational bent, which is a fair point. I mean, you don't expect New Zealand governments to comment on matters that could have security implications for its citizens. On the other hand, I think you could say that New Zealand opinion is divided on this issue. Some people in the Labour Party and in the Green Party believe that Edward Snowden is a hero. He's beefing up democracy by drawing our attention to the threats to it. On the other hand, there are those who believe that he's playing into the hands of those who are against the free societies, such as Islamic terrorists, and they regard him as a traitor. And Mr. Key himself, I think, falls into the latter category because he said when it's been mooted, but the idea's been floated recently, that Ed Snowden may come to New Zealand and join with .com in resisting extradition to the United States, and Mr Key said he would not be welcome. The opposition, Labour and the Greens, have taken a different position, said he would be welcome.
Professor of International Relations, Robert Patman, thanks for your time.
Thank you.